Okay, I'm really glad today it's in honor of Albert Einstein. It's not just science, but it's the arts and humanities. I know there's a lot of focus on STEM. I'm married to a robotics professor. I'm all for science. And then there was the adding the A, so you get STEAM. But my daughter Odessa likes to add the H for humanities, so it's STEAM. So I'm glad this room represents STEAM. My father, Leonard Shlain, he wrote a book called Art and Physics, Parallel Visions in Space, Time, and Light. And that was my bedtime stories growing up. For real. And my father also was the same person who brought a human brain in formaldehyde to my 4th grade class. And everyone freaked out but me, and I was just like, I'm obsessed with everything about neuroscience. And then my mother, Carol Lewis, went back to school to get her PhD in psychology my whole growing up. So she taught me everything about psychology and seeded my interest about emotions and character. So those two people are what seeded who I am completely. And I have one other Albert Einstein connection before I go into my vision, which is my brother-in-law is the comedian Albert Brooks. I know, it's unusual. His last name was Einstein, and his parents were both comedians also, and they named him Albert Einstein, which he changed when he became a comedian when he was in his 20s. As you can imagine, growing up with Albert Einstein as your name was a lot of pressure. So here's my vision. So I showed you that experiment I'm building. We're up to 120,000 events, all talking about the same idea on the same day. Imagine if the entire human population could focus for one day on one subject. Imagine the power of what that could do. Now, I've been thinking about the early ideas part of this since I was a teenager in the 80s. Can we all remember what it was like before the web? Can we remember Rolodexes? Can we remember life before the cell phone? I mean, it's kind of hard. And do you remember like the old modem that would be like, shh? That's the era I'm talking about. And I co-wrote with another student a proposal called Uniting Nations in Telecommunications and Software, because I had an old Mac and I had a modem, and I thought, what if we just connect all these computers together? We could connect everyone. But there was no web at that point. But then the web started, and I launched the Webby Awards, which honored the early days of the web. It still exists today. And I was trying to push this young medium forward to celebrate everything that it can do to connect us in new ways. It's going to be less than 10 years before the entire planet's going to be connected. And just imagine when everyone has access to all the ideas that have come before us and all of that cross-disciplinary thinking. And there's incredible power that comes in focusing on what connects us, because there's a lot of going on, especially in my country, about what divides us. Now, and if you think about that power, about the biggest issues of our day, like gender equality, like inequality, like climate change, or living a life of meaning and purpose. Imagine the power of that. Now, as much as I believe in the power of connection, I believe in the power of disconnection from technology. 8 years ago, that same father that I told you I was so close to was diagnosed with brain cancer, and he was given 9 months to live. And I spent a lot of time turning off my phone and just being with him and being present in the most beautiful way. I'm sure anyone that's lost someone knows how intense those times are. And when he died, he would have loved today, by the way. But when he died, my husband and I decided with our teenage daughter and our younger daughter to turn off all cell phones once a week for our technology Shabbats. And we're Jewish. But we're not that religious, but we're into Shabbat. And we're certainly into our technology. So 8 years, once a week, we're totally present with each other. It is the best thing I've ever done in my life. It is the best thing. We appreciate the small moments. We connect in a different way. And you know what else we do? We daydream. People don't leave room to daydream anymore. And Einstein was the most beautiful example of what can happen when you daydream, when you link unusual ideas together. That's how he came up with his ideas, is he made unusual connections and he gave his mind room to explore. The other one thing that happens when we turn off all technology once a week, and Einstein would also appreciate this, is time seems to slow down. So my vision is both to inspire a sense of awe and agency that this whole planet is going to be connected very soon, and also inspire a ritual for people to disconnect. So we have the necessary perspective to understand what we're connecting to, and so we can help shape this interconnected world with meaning and purpose. Thank you.